Hello. My name is Darlene, and I'm a Mormon. I am a wife and mother because that is what our church teaches us that God wants us women to do. I have been married to my husband, Phil, for 9 years. We have 7 children. The oldest is 8 and the youngest is just a baby. My husband and I got married soon after he got home from his mission for the church. His mission president had advised him to get married as soon as possible after he came back, so that he would avoid temptation. I was already 21 and I was worried about being an old maid. So I went to the church college at Brigham Young University to look for a good Mormon husband. Phil had enrolled there also, and he was looking for a good Mormon wife. So we dated for a couple of weeks. I wasn't really attracted to him much. But our church teaches us that if 2 people live the gospel and try to please God by being good Mormons, they can have a successful marriage even if they don't start out by being in love with each other. So after 2 weeks he proposed, and I said yes, because I wanted to please God and do what the leader said I should do. We got married in the temple, after I had gone through the endowment ceremony. Phil of course had gotten his endowment before he went on his mission. I was surprised by a lot of things in the endowment ceremony that I didn't expect. Even though I had been a Mormon all my life, I kept thinking it was weird, but everybody else kept saying that it was so spiritual and beautiful. I had to take a lot of oaths, like promising to obey my husband and not to criticize church leaders and do whatever the church told me to do. I guess I am not spiritual enough because it seemed so strange. I was so upset that I forgot some of the secret passwords they gave us that we are supposed to know to get into heaven. Our honeymoon was also disappointing. Phil and I had always avoided getting very physical because that would have been a sin. So neither one of us knew much about what a married couple do in bed. Still, I got pregnant right away. I have not been a very good wife and mother, I guess, although I have tried very hard. Phil often gets very angry with me. I don't think he is very happy. He is sometimes very mean to me and the children. Any little thing seems to set him off. We don't have much money because we pay 10% of Phil's wages every week to the church. Phil says that it's better to give the money to God than to buy shoes for the children or other things I think we need. He says God will bless us for it. And I have to agree with him, because he is a high priest in the church, and I took an oath in the temple to obey him and not disagree. I talked to my mother about it, and she told me to talk to our bishop. In our church, a bishop is like a minister in other churches. So I met with the bishop. He told me that I must be doing something wrong to make my husband angry. He said I should try to think what it was and stop doing it. He said I should try to be nicer to him, to let him have sex whenever he wanted it. He said it would help if I baked him a nice cake or pie more often. Most of all, the bishop said I was probably not praying sincerely enough, and I should spend more time reading the scriptures. I asked him if it would help me to see a therapist. He said no, of course not. Unless the therapist was a Mormon and had the Mormon priesthood, he would not be guided by God. I asked him if my husband should see a therapist, and he said, "What for? His only problem is his wife. Me. I should be making him happy." I am supposed to look forward to eternity, when my husband will be a god, and I will be his goddess, and he will be creating worlds that we will populate with our spirit children, and I will be their heavenly mother. To be honest, I am not looking forward to that kind of eternity. But that's what our church says it will be, and so it must be true. Our church is led by a living prophet, of course, and he would not tell us anything that wasn't true. If we just have enough faith that the church is true, we will be happy and prosperous. I have to believe that. I don't know what I would do if I could not have my children with me in the next life, so I have to be faithful. I am so fortunate to be a Mormon. I'm Darlene. and I'm a Mormon wife and mother and future goddess.